It's always strange and beautiful coming back to the Royal Court, because it doesn't matter how much it's a new experience. For someone like me, it's an old experience because I've done it before. And so it always takes on like a dreamlike quality. You can sort of remember previous productions and they kind of all blend into one another, and it's just like an echo chamber. Just walking in through the front door, I'm just absolutely ambushed by the past and by wonderful memories.
The most extraordinary experience having a play on here. I've walked into that space upstairs many, many times, and I'm always stunned by how the space looks with every play that's on. And the feeling of walking in there the first time for the first run through and seeing the set there in that space was such a privilege.
It's just been a really great experience working with the Royal Court. I think that something I really appreciate about the Royal Court is the fact that even though it's a new writing institution with a huge amount of history and, I mean, reputation to spare, it seems to use that history and that reputation to really push forward very forward-thinking and risk-taking approaches to making really interesting writing for theatre happen.
I felt like I was experimenting a lot with material, so to finally have the second play on and at the home of new writing and the history of all the phenomenal playwrights that have been programmed here, to be part of that history was an incredibly humbling feeling, but also you really feel that you've arrived as a writer.
I did the Young Writers Programme many years ago, and we were all inspired to have a play on, and it's still really surreal that it happened, and a year later I'm still really proud that I've been able to have work staged at the Royal Court Theatre.
When I first knew that I wanted to be a playwright, so many of the plays that I was reading were Royal Court plays, so it was always sort of that when people would ask me, where would you love to have your play on, like I would talk about the Royal Court, and so it's incredible to actually have something on here. I
think the significance of getting any play on at the Royal Court is still a thrill for me. I remember coming here as an usher when I was about 19, 20 years old, and seeing, I think it was Death of a Maiden, and just the idea of ever like acting or having anything to do with any show here just seemed like absolutely impossible. It still does.
I don't think there's any other theatre in the world that would have allowed me to take the risk to make a piece that was unlike anything I'd ever written before. I'd never written for dance before, I'd never written for movement, and I think there was something remarkably audacious about the theatre allowing me to do that. I'm tremendously, tremendously grateful to the Royal Court.
In terms of the significance for me personally as a writer, it's a huge thing, and for our little show, it was a huge event.
The Royal Court is the one place where you meet everybody who works on the show. You meet the wardrobe people, and you meet the crew, and you meet the marketing people, and they're constantly in contact with each other every day, and I'd like to say, give a tribute to the crew. Whenever I come here and do a show, I throw a whole load of shit at them, and they don't just accept it and go with it. They're actually happy to do it and happy for the challenge.
It's one of my favourite spaces in the whole entire world, and you know, I count myself an audience member, a writer and a fan of the building. And I still get goosebumps, and my heart still beats a little quicker every time I walk into that building. I know I'm going to see something new, and I will be forever thankful that Human Animals opened there, because if it hadn't have been for this building and those people, that play would have not existed.
My closing line is, thank you so much for your support of the Royal Court.
I'm fully aware that we can't do plays like The Ferryman without the tremendous support that the Royal Court is provided with, and so I just want to say thank you to everyone who has contributed to that. It genuinely wouldn't happen without you, so thanks.
Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you so much for your support of the Royal Court Theatre.
Thank you to all of the supporters for your help with the Royal Court.
Thank you for your support.
Thanks to everybody who supports it, and from me, very personal, thank you. You've kept me in trousers.
I'd just like to thank the supporters of the Royal Court for allowing all of this great progressive work to happen.
I am so grateful to the Royal Court and for you for supporting the theatre. I don't think I'd be writing the plays that I'm writing now. I don't think that I'd be opening plays in the West End or taking place at the Manchester International Festival or writing 6 or 7 plays for the Royal Court if it hadn't been for the way that theatre works and its spirit of collaboration and faith and support. And that spirit is entirely impossible without your generosity. Thank you very much.